So let's talk about, I want to spend a few minutes on table stakes, and then I want to get into like what can kill deliverability, what's changed in the last few years, and then we'll land the episode with like the recommended email deliverability stack. So let's talk about table stakes. I suspect most people are going to know about the basic DNS settings, SPF, DKIM, DMARC. If you don't, just do a Google search for SPF and Google or Office 365, and like Google has amazing documentation. Beyond those, are there anything else that's super critical?
Yeah, definitely. Really what you need to think about is, and you're talking for delivery setup or whatever, like sort of settings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really what you have to do is you have to have those on. The other thing is you have to have them really, they have to be aligned. There's another problem that happens where most companies have actually, what they've done is they've installed too many or so many marketing automation systems inadvertently, which is good, right? Like your job board tool, your like all these different tools. And what happens is sometimes there's a collision between the alignment. So I've seen a lot of companies that have actually screwed this up where if the alignment part is part of it as well. So a lot of times a lot of people use MX Toolbox, which is one of the ones to check, but you'll go on and you'll say, oh, wow, it's not aligned. And what that usually means is when you go back to the return path, when you go back to the return, when it checks it, it basically sees that, hey, it's not aligned because you've possibly overwrote, or like on the other side, it's not the right. And this happens a lot with like user marketing. You might use HubSpot and SalesLoft and you have a collision there, right? There's a little bit of like half of it won't check out. It's like, it's not going to get you always put in spam, but there's just a lot of challenges there. So that's where it really makes sense to have your IT and team involved. The other stuff you really got to watch out for is the volume stuff, right? Sales emails are a unique type. They're the only ones that actually get like real complaints, right? And you should expect it. And that's the other thing I don't think people do, right? Because people are now more savvy to report as spam. And this is why, I mean, I know there's even tools out there that just respond for you, but that's the worst thing you could do is help people spam more. You don't want to cure spam with more spam, right? There's different things that like take a donation or whatever. I'm not really sure what they do, but what you need to do is not respond and report it as spam if you don't want it in your inbox, right? That gives the signals back to Google and anybody else who runs mail. That way you can prevent spam, right? That's stuff's not good either. So I guess the point is that you need to keep that reputation, and the volumes really matter. So if you're sending 1,000 out of a domain at once and you're getting X percentage of those are complaints, that looks really weird because all the other emails that come out of your company aren't complaints. Like your marketing team's not getting complaints unless they're doing something completely wrong, which is violating to their contract, their marketing automation vendor, or your HR or your corporate or whoever it says in there. No one else is getting complaints except for your sales team. So sales emails require you to be essentially on another domain name if you're going to really use them effectively, or you're going to only be able to send maybe 50 to 100 a day on that domain. Because the second that engagement gets screwed up and you hire that 6 SDR to start sandblasting, that's when you're in some real trouble, because now your CEO is not going to be able to email investors. Your CEO is not going to be able to email all kinds of people. And that's usually when I get the call, because they search the internet for anybody who knows anything about this. And nine out of 10 times they're going to come across to me, so then I'm getting these like weird, like, hey, it's the VC of, whatever. And that's, by the way, that's how I can generate a lot of my leads. But, in a lot of ways that's usually what happens is that is the actual problem. And you start to tip, now your whole company is in spam. You're blacklisted at every Fortune 500 account, and Microsoft Office won't let a single email through from you, or you're sending with another provider or Office to Google. So those are some of the things that really happen is right now. So you just really have to send high quality emails, and you have to send a low volume of them across your infrastructure.
Cool.
Viva.
Sounds about right. So, yeah. Other table stakes.
So if the question is determinant, please let me know if I understood it right. Is your question trying to understand beyond SPF, DKIM, DMARC, is there anything else for us to be focused on in terms of deliverability boosting?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yes. So all of it will be adding on top of what Jesse has said, because Jesse knows a lot of things. So to jump onto his premise is just the DKMD Mark SPF as base standards are required, but these platforms have moved beyond that as a way to measure anything deliverability wise. Sending patterns matters. Sending velocity and frequency matters. The patterns, when I say it, is if you're using sending platforms, you should ensure the platform that you're using is not doing 12, 1205, 1210, 1215. There needs to be some variance, just natural variance, right? Which does mean you don't end up sending 50 emails every single day. Some days you send 48, some days you send 52, but that is just a natural path of delivery. The second thing is cloaking up your email copy to have more variation. And that just doesn't mean using variables such as first name, personalized first name, etc. I believe the stat that I read somewhere was from one of the Gmail guys on Twitter. And they said 92% similarity in cold emails is in emails is considered mass mailing. So if your emails need to be at least 92% different from someone else, which means the use of spin tags is going to be pretty important. Spin tags is just a way of coming up with variant copy that is synonymous, like hi, hello, hey there, instead of just hi. What that does is it assists Google, especially since they've moved to a more semantic-based approach. So that's why you'll see their classification model is become smarter. It uses keywords and phrases now to move emails left, right in promotion box, spam box, or primary inbox. So the more you variate your copy, the better it is, because when one email within a certain time gap that's sent gets marked as spam, all other email that is also sent within that same time gap will also get marked as spam, even if it originally landed in the primary inbox. And that's where this starts getting really murky. And not only that, but then you start looking at patterns where you combine that with your signature. So if you have the same signature across multiple emails that are being sent out, and then it associates that variant of copy with this particular signature, that permutative combination that then ends up causing, all right, everything, because if you Google derives some part of their deliverability engine from their SEO engine, which is a very intelligent engine. And one of their pushes in the SEO engine is that EAT experience, expertise, authority, trust, and experience, right? And expertise is actually a big factor. What we realized, side note, but whoever cares about marketing, is if you are associated as an expert on Google on a certain topic, just saying that you are the author or you edited that particular blog automatically improves the chance of that article ranking higher. This is obviously hypothesis and subjective, but it's just from our experience. We've seen whenever we put my name or one of my other team members' name who's known in the market for B2B sales, just naturally there's a higher chance of it going up versus when we just have our content team who also are good at what they do, just write that. So same sort of experience. So if you put signatures that are associated positively, great. If it's associated negatively, Billy Farland from Fire Festival, not going to work out too well, right? So just that.